Okay, in this series, this is actually going to be a series of 3 to 4 videos, and it is a pretty complicated situation. It's the 3100 thread cutting attachment, and the first thing we're going to do is go through all the components in the box and explain what they are, and then we will get into actually installing the drive mechanism in the actual lathe bed assembly. So, the instructions. These are very, very important with this accessory because it gets into the, you absolutely have to have these with you because they contain the gear chart for setting up the different thread pitches. You have to have this or you're lost. We'll get into that a little bit later. This is actually the drive mechanism. It's 2 brackets and a series of gears. These are just random gears that were assembled on it from the factory. And then you have several bags of little gears. I suggest getting something like a small tackle box, the little clear tackle boxes with the compartments to put all the gears in so you don't lose any of the components. You do get a thread cutting tool and various screws and washers and spacers and whatnot. We'll get into that also a little bit later. The hand wheel, which you just have to assemble the hand wheel, the actual hand wheel it's on itself. We'll get to that later. And this is the important part that we're going to look into right now. This is your drive mechanism, and we'll get into that immediately. I have a basic lathe assembly here. I have most of the stuff removed for ease of clarity and just easier to see what's going on. We'll open up the parts bag here. It has 3 components. It has what's called your sliding shaft, your actual drive dog, and your engagement lever. And we'll go into how those go in once we start dismantling the lathe. Now, to do this, some of the lathe has to be dismantled. The first thing you want to do is turn it upside down and remove the base mounting screws. The hand wheel side does have a washer on it, so keep that in mind. And just set those aside along with the base. I'm using the short bed lathe, but the process is exactly the same with the long bed lathe. There's no difference. Okay, now what we're going to be concentrating on is the lead screw support on this end. And this is where the components go in. Now, one thing you do have to do, once you've taken the lower screw out, is you have to loosen this one just a little bit. Go about a turn and a half. You want it to stay in there, but you want to back it out because the threads of the screw actually go into the bore of the lead screw support, and what that does is the screw then drops into this slot on the drive dog to hold it in place so it doesn't come out. Then we take the sliding shaft, and you want to put the short end. See, there's 2 ends. A long slot and a short slot. You want to put the short slot in first. Then you insert the drive dog and rotate it until everything drops in like that. Now, through the bottom hole, threaded hole, you can actually see the slot in the drive dog. Hold that there and tighten this screw back down like that, and that holds it in. Now, how this works is we have the short slot on this side and the long slot on this side. There's a long slot on the drive dog, and those 2 slide together, meaning when the drive dog is shifted in, it drops into the lead screw. And with that, like that, now the drive dog turns with the hand wheel. When you slide it back, it disengages. And that's how that works. When you're engaging it, you have to get it to line up so it drops in, and then just slide it back to disengage it. Now how that's done is, in the base, your engagement lever grabs that little disc, and that's what actually moves the drive dog. And you'll see that in just a second once I get the base put back on. And just put it back together in reverse order. These screws are both 3/8 long, so it doesn't matter which one goes where, just as long as you get the washer down on this end. Get them both started before you tighten either one down. And just make sure that that screw didn't grab hold of the dog on the edge. Still runs free. Okay, now there's a little plastic button here. Take a little sharp screwdriver or a knife blade and hook underneath it and pop that out. Once you get to this stage, now you want to insert your engagement lever, and this has a slot on it, and that slot has to match up with that little center disc that was on the sliding shaft. Now you want to use a little flashlight, look down in there and make sure that little disc is centered in the hole, and hold your engagement lever with the slot straight up and just slide it right in. Snap it in because there's an O-ring that will capture it, and there it is. Here you can see the drive shaft is going with the engagement lever toward the tailstock. When you disengage it, it disengages, drops back in, and it locks it in pretty good. And that's the end of this segment. Okay, now once that we got the sliding drive mechanism in, now we can start concentrating on actually assembling the gear train assembly. I went to the full-size lathe that I'm going to be using for the cutting demonstration, and we'll go ahead and start going through what everything is and how to install it. First thing we want to start with is a little bag of miscellaneous hardware, and we have several little screws, a little threaded spacer, some thin shim washers, smaller shim washers, and some screws and whatnot. Now what you want to do is take one of the larger shim washers and slide that right over the spindle against the pulley. The reason you want to do that is that so it spaces the first gear, that it doesn't start digging into the actual pulley itself. Then we have to take one of these tiny little screws. It's a 440 self-tapper, and you have to tap it into the hole that's on the spindle tube itself. If you were wondering what that's for, that's what it's for. This becomes the drive dog for the gear train off the spindle. Now, this is a little fidgety, but once you get it started, it goes pretty quickly. As a matter of fact, let's cheat. And it just starts right in and starts self-threading, and work it all the way till it bottoms out. Just like that. Then you want to take your gear train assembly loosen this one up and remove the gears essentially. Now we're going to be cutting, we'll start setting it up right away. I'm going to be cutting a 3/8 24 because it's fine enough that it won't take forever, and it's large enough that you can actually see what's going on in the camera. So we go to our threading chart here, and we have to go down to 24 threads per inch, and you'll see here in the diagram on here, you'll want to really study this pretty closely, but it gives you the diagram of how to lay out the gears and which gears are what, A, B, C, D, and E. All right, and then you get down to the 24, and it says you need 2 hundreds, a 20, a 24, and a 40. So this is the 100, and this has the drive shaft already on it, and the 20, which I believe we'll be using. The 20, yeah, we'll be using this. So these two can actually stay there. You'll find you'll use this combination, the 100 tooth and the 20 tooth, for most of the standard type threading, unless you get into a real off thread or you get into the metric threading. So you want to pull out the 100 tooth gear, and that's this one. It's just the center, and you see it's got a notch cut on it. Now when you slide that onto the spindle, you want that notch to engage the screw, and that keeps it from obviously rotating. And then you'll take this, as you just essentially leave that as it is, and you'll slide it over the lead screw support, and we'll just support it there for a second. And you'll want the 100 tooth and the 100 tooth to engage. You want it to be a good positive engagement, but you don't want any binding when you tighten it down. What you want to do is bring that up and engage it. Put a little bit of pressure on the gear arm and tighten it down. And then you always, every step in this, you want to make sure it spins freely, but yet doesn't come out. And that's in both directions, because sometimes when you're threading and you go to back it up, the gear will walk out of itself and you'll lose your time. So you want to make sure everything is snug and tight and free moving in both directions. Okay, we rotated it around so it's a little easier to see here. You can see what I did with the control arms and the gears as so far. And that's what we're looking for, is a nice smooth operation in both directions, and it's not going to come disengaged. The next thing you want to do is the main drive gear off the lead screw, and that for this thread pitch happens to be the 24. So again, just slide it over there. There is a slot that lines up with the dog pin, and then you'll take one of the little screws with one of the washers and thread it in, and with the engagement lever engaged, grab hold of your hand wheel and tighten it down. It spins freely, nice in both directions. No binding, you don't hear any grinding, any rubbing on anything. And you'll see that the spacing, when you start lining this all up, the spacing is pretty critical, where you hear it's nice and smooth, there's no binding, but once the gear train is all there, you'll start hear the gears working, and there'll be some rubbing, but that's normal. And now the last gear, the only one that's left, is the 40. And that's put in place with this little threaded spacer. And you just slip it into the gear. Now this is where it gets kind of tricky, getting everything aligned and running smooth, yet still pretty free moving. You almost need 6 hands to do this. Okay, you just want to snug it up just a little bit so it still moves, and roll it around. And what you're going to do here now is you have to engage it in 2 different gears. And if you see there, when I back it up, it wants to pull away. So we'll get it in there with a little bit of pressure and start tightening some things down here. And see, that's a little too tight. That's pretty nice. Both directions, and it doesn't want to pull out of itself. And the actual cross slide is actually moving at this point as well. Okay, from here, the last thing you need to do for the final assembly is put the hand wheel together. Okay, now what engages this here is the screw that we put in. It actually protrudes a little bit out of the face of the gear. Well, on the hand wheel, there's also a little notch in the hand wheel. Now that lines up with that screw. We have to put a locking screw in here. And when you slide this on, that slot engages with the head of the screw. Hold it snug against it and just lightly touch it down. You don't want to reef it down, just snug it a little past touch. And nice even movement, no binding in any spots. And that's the assembly of the gear train.